Hey guys, it's smeefu, and we're back again with another patch review. This is my bi-weekly series where I go through every change done to every single hero and tell you whether I think they have been buffed or nerfed. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below with some feedback. I really do appreciate it, but do make sure to enjoy the video. So guys, starting off with Abrams, his melee attack rate has been reduced by 15%, which is the time in between the attacks. So I think that means he can't melee as often. I'm not sure if it's to do with meleeing and then shooting, because I know that has a separate delay. It feels like he melees a little bit slower now, like spam melees. I'm not too sure though. But his gun fall off damage now starts at 20 meters instead of 22 meters. So his damage falls off a little bit faster. Fixed cases where shoulder charge will do a 180/360 on spellcast. But as you can see here, testing it with Majestic Leap, that's not fixed completely. It's still doing a 180 on landing. Fixed shoulder charge, sliding against wall surfaces incorrectly, which is nice. That was very annoying when it happened. I'd get stuck on stuff all the time. Now it seems to be good. And they have fixed seismic impact, sometimes getting stuck on objects, which was never a big problem for me, to be honest, but yeah. So Bebop with what I would say an overall buff here. He has his bullet damage growth increased from 0.29 to 0.33. So he's going to have a little bit more bullet damage late game. No longer gains 1% spirit bullet resist per boon, but he gains 1% spirit resist per boon. So at max level, he'll have 10% base bullet resist and 15% spirit resist. I would say that's a buff rather than having only bullet resist, as spirit resist is most of the burst damage in the game. He now also loses 20% of his stacks, rounding up for sticky bomb on death. So you can see here, I'm going to lose a lot of stacks. I lost 7 stacks right there. Bebop hook now returns troopers 75% faster than normal. So you're not going to be, stun locking yourself for a long time in lane if you accidentally hook a trooper. The trooper's going to come to you a lot faster, so you're going to be, stood there like a donkey for a little bit less time. So I think it's an overall buff for Bebop, to be honest. I don't think the stacks is too big of an issue. The extra bullet damage is nice, and the spirit resist is honestly really nice. Looking like Grandma got yet another buff. Base health regen increased from 2 to 2.5, which is nice. Gun spirit scaling increased from 0.1 damage per spirit to 0.13, so that's more damage endgame from building a spirit build. And now move speed, scales with spirit power again. So a huge buff. Getting bullet damage and move speed scaling with spirit power is crazy. And Rain of Arrows strafe speed with stamina dashing has been increased by 30%. You can see it's crazy. Infernus with a very sad lone nerf. T1 on Afterburn now makes them deal minus 25% spirit damage instead of 30%. Wow. IV getting some slight love, I would say, overall. The base bullet damage increased from 4.5 to 5. So hitting a little harder in lane. Minions clearing is a little bit easier with gun now, which is great. Bullet damage growth reduced. I'm guessing to just, make that in line and make sure her gun's not too strong late game. And airdrop slow debuff reduced from 35% to 30%. So I would say overall, nice. Kelvin has had his Arctic Beam slow reduced from 50% to 40%. So an even further reduction. He's also had his Frost Grenade T2 heal reduced from 145 to 125. And Frozen Shelter is now not bugged and freezes the weakened patron finally. So no more cheese ending the game with Kelvin. Thank God. So, Lady Geist, overall with a nerf here. Malice slow reduced from 20% to 15%, along with the duration being down from 13 seconds to 9 seconds. Pretty significant nerf. The damage amp base is from 15% to 8%, and you have to get that 7% back at T2. But now casting Malice does not pull you out of your scope. McGinnis with some overall buffs, I would say. I think so. Or maybe one changes so much that it's a nerf. But gun spin decay rate improved from 0.65 to 0.25. So when you stop shooting, you'll keep, the spin up for a bit longer. Turret's cooldown reduced from 24 seconds to 18 seconds, and their spirit resist increased from 60% to 80%. So they're trying to push turret builds here. Spectral wall slow reduced from 25% to 20%, and the T1 damage amp reduced from 25% to 15%. So that's a pretty significant nerf, but I do think the other buffs are quite nice. Heavy barrage minimum range increased from 6 meters to 7 meters, so it's easier to get in on her now and make sure she can't hit you with the ult. Cooldown of the ability also increased from 106 seconds to 140 seconds, and the T2 improved cooldown from -47 to -50. The T1 slow has also been reduced from 35% to 30%. Mirage here with, I would say, a buff for sure. Fire Scarab's T3 and max health steal increased from +70 to +80 health. Jin's Mark T3 cooldown between multipliers improved from 0.5 seconds to -0.75 seconds. Traveler base fire rate buff increased from 20% to 30%. T2 cooldown reduction improved from -30 seconds to -40 seconds. But the big thing here is that Mirage's Traveler ultimate, the T3, now grants unstoppable for 3 seconds on arrival. So no longer are you just going to be getting instantly stun locked endgame whenever you try and TP anywhere. This ability can definitely be used aggressively now. You can TP on a whole team and have unstoppable. Now, oh my god, as if Mo and Krill wasn't good enough in lane already, he now has 20% headshot crit reduction as well. So you do less damage to Mo and Krill in the head. On top of this, the bullet and spirit resist from Burrow now persists through the spin up animation. So yep, Mo and Krill even better. Some weird changes here for Paradox. Pulse grenade pulses are now expressed as a duration rather than a fixed pulse count. So buying duration extender will give you an extra pulse or so. Again, with superior duration, you get another extra pulse. And the T1 has been changed from +1 pulse to +0.8 seconds duration. So it seems like 0.8 seconds is the time it takes to do a pulse. So every time you add that on, you get an extra pulse. Pulse Grenade T2 improved from -7.5 seconds cooldown to -8 seconds. Kinetic Carbine T2 improved from -9.5 to -10 seconds cooldown. Kinetic Carbine shots now cannot miss due to evasion. So if you shoot a haze while she's ulting, even though she's got bullet evasion, she will be hit by the carbine. Kinetic Carbine can also now pierce breakables, so people can't hide behind boxes. As you'll see here, Infernus gets hit through the box. Kinetic Carbine now has a 15% headshot damage multiplier, as you'll see here. So there is a reason to aim for the head with this ability now, which gives it a bit more of a skill gap. Kinetic Carbine sound level has been reduced a little bit, though that must be on the enemy side, because playing as Paradox here, it's still loud as hell. 7 has had some slight buffs and nerfs at the same time. So Lightning Ball cooldown has been increased from 23 seconds to 26 seconds. Lightning Ball radius reduced from 4 to 3.5 meters. Lightning Ball T2 slow reduced from 40% to 35%, so they're hitting Lightning Ball hard here, it seems. Move speed base reduced from 7.3 to 7.1. But Storm Cloud now expands faster. The max expansion is now at 2 seconds rather than 3 seconds. And the range is increased from 25 meters to 30 meters at base. So his ult is definitely a little bit better now. Finally, Shiv getting hit hard by the nerfs. He is getting his base speed reduced from 7.3 to 7. Serrated Knives collision radius reduced by 20%. Bloodletting cooldown increased from 21 seconds to 50 seconds at base. And to get that cooldown reductions back, you will have to get the T2. Bloodletting duration increased from 10 seconds to 13 seconds, so that's a little bit better. But the incoming damage deferred reduced from 30% to 22%. You now have to put a point in T1 to get the 8% incoming damage deferred, and you lose the +5 seconds that it was previously. Killing Blow range has been heavily reduced from 20 meters to 13 meters. Killing Blow rage buildup per heavy melee reduced from 3.5 to 2.75. And now Killing Blow rage buffer duration reduced from 10 seconds to 9 seconds. So it will start decaying a little bit faster, 1 second faster, Shiv will start losing his rage again. They've also reduced his build-up versus creeps of his rage by 50%. So you're gonna, you're not gonna be able to generate rage anywhere near as easily from jungling and killing minions. Definitely an overall nerf to Shiv. I'm happy to see it because this hero was very, very brain dead recently. Vindicta getting some love after the absolute heresy of last patch. Gun cycle time has been improved from 0.26 seconds to 0.22 seconds. Her bullet damage growth per boon has been increased from 0.55 to 0.65. Fire rate now scales 0.14 with spirit power. So late game Vindicta is going to be shooting a lot faster than she would before on a spirit build. Assassinate no longer splits to allies. So, Vindicta is going to be getting fed as heck again. You'll see here that my teammate Moan Krill is gaining some souls, but that's just from the assist. He's not actually getting any of the bonus souls from the snipe, which is great. Flight duration increased from 8 seconds to 12 seconds at base, which is amazing. Flight T2 duration also increased from plus 6 seconds to plus 8 seconds. Assassinate bullet radius increased from 3 to 4. Assassinate scope is now automatically cancelled when paradoxical swap hits you. And Assassinate scope zoom level can now be cycled with right click. So you have 2 zooms now. Viscous base bullet damage reduced from 12 to 11. His bullet damage growth per boon has been slightly increased. His total bullet damage, though, has gone from 24 to 23.6. So slightly worse endgame as well. The cube T2 now moved to T3. So you need T3 to purge now. But the T2 is now plus 35 HP regen, so he's going to be healing a lot more mid-game if they choose to upgrade this. Splatter T2 reduced from plus 60 damage to plus 50. And Goo Ball Spirit Resist reduced from 70% to 60%. So definitely some nerfs here for Viscous overall, I would say. The big fat policeman Warden has had some weird changes. I would say an overall buff, definitely. His Alchemical Flash slow duration has been reduced from 6 seconds to 3 seconds. Alchemical Flask weapon damage debuff increased from 6 seconds to 7 seconds. Last Stand now grants you unstoppable during the 2 seconds channel, which is insane on T3. Wraith with some much needed nerfs, I would say. Card Trick base damage reduced from 80 to 70. And Card Trick cooldown also increased from 0.5 seconds to 0.65 seconds, which means that she's going to be able to spam them a little less. Her DPS is going to take a slight hit from this, especially with the base damage being reduced. Wraith Telekinesis cooldown increased from 95 seconds to 100 seconds, but the T1 cooldown improved from minus 28 seconds to minus 30 seconds. So still overall a 3 seconds nerf to the ult. Happy that Wraith has been nerfed this patch. She is disgusting. And last but not least, we have Yamato. Picks being able to cast an ability while casting Flying Strike. I'm not too sure what this means, as I have about 1 game played on Yamato, but hopefully on screen I demonstrated it well enough. I have no clue. Crimson Slash following in the direction of dash rather than crosshair has been fixed. So if I dash forwards and turn around, I still slash behind me. Shadow Transformation T1 has been changed to plus 20% fire rate. And Shadow Transformation cooldown reduced from 106 seconds to 90 seconds. So I think overall buffs here for Yamato. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Patch Review. And as Warden would say, it's time to change the world.